Chapter 6 Learning. Learning is a relatively permanent change in an organism's behavior due to experience. We learn by associating certain events together. Classical conditioning is a type of learning in which one learns to link one or more stimuli and anticipate events. It involves unconditioned responses, unconditioned stimuli, conditioned responses, and conditioned stimuli. Acquisition is the first pairing of a neutral stimulus and its conditioned response. Discrimination is the learned ability to distinguish between a conditioned stimulus and a stimuli that do not signal an unconditioned stimulus. When an unconditioned stimulus does not follow a conditioned response, extinction of the conditioned response can occur. However, spontaneous recovery is the reappearance after a pause of extinguished conditioned response. Unconditioned stimulus. A stimulus that naturally and automatically triggers a response. For example, a fish would naturally and automatically cause a cat to be happy. Unconditioned response is the unlearned, naturally occurring response to an unconditioned stimulus. For example, when a cat sees a fish, it gets happy. Conditioned stimulus. An originally irrelevant stimulus that, after association with an unconditioned stimulus, comes to trigger a conditioned response. The sound of a bell before seeing a fish that makes the cat happy can cause the cat to be happy at the sound of that bell. Conditioned response is the learned response to previously neutral stimulus. A cat's happiness due to the sound of a bell is its conditioned response. Operant conditioning, a type of learning where behavior is strengthened if followed by a reinforcer or diminished if followed by a punisher. For example, you could use operant conditioning to train a cat to not jump on the table by using reinforcers and punishments. Reinforcement. Positive reinforcement strengthens behaviors by presenting positive stimuli. To keep a cat from jumping on a table, you could offer it a treat every time it gets off. Negative reinforcement strengthens behaviors by reducing aversive stimuli. A cat could get off the table to stop its owner from yelling at it. Reinforcements can be continuous or scheduled. Reinforcement schedules can occur after a certain amount of behaviors occur, or after a random amount of behaviors, or after a set amount of time, or a random amount of time. Punishment. Punishment is an event that decreases the behavior it follows. Positive punishment presents a stimulus that decreases the behavior it follows. If you're trying to train your cat to not stand on the table, you could use positive punishment and spray with water every time it stands on the table. Negative punishment takes away a stimulus to reduce a behavior. Taking away a cat's favorite toy every time it jumps on the table is an example of negative punishment. Observational learning. Learning by observing others, also known as social learning. If one cat sees another cat catch a mouse, it will be more likely to catch a mouse in the future. Latent learning. Learning that occurs but is not apparent until there is an incentive to demonstrate it. A cat could learn to go to the bathroom in a litter box, but that learning would not be apparent until it has to go to the bathroom.